I know you are a very busy person, having some patience with life-threatening situations. So I'm going to be brief. I'll go straight to the point. Those twins that are under your care, please give them adequate attention. Very soon, they are going to be daughters of the royal family.
That's true, Doctor. Utilize everything at your disposal. Any amount required to bring in specialists into this. Do not hesitate to contact the royal family.
Yes, Your Majesties. I've already sent words to other surgeons. We'll be working together as a team so we can make sure that all the patients return to their usual selves.
Good. That's the kind of story I want to hear. Okay, Doctor, you can go.
Thank you, Your Majesty.
Thanks so much.
Let me run out.
Okay,
It doesn't matter how long it takes. One day the truth must be revealed. It doesn't matter how smart you play. One day every secret must be.
They are recovering very, very fast. Thanks to their mother, who was here and on time to donate blood. This one here suffered some temporary memory loss. Aside from the drugs that I have already prescribed, being around family members and familiar places will help her gain the memory in less than that. We'll do all our possible best to make sure everything is okay.
Okay, Doctor, do whatever it takes, please. I can't wait to get them out.
Thank you, my prince. Let me get one of the nurses. Once my CMD arrives and signs the necessary documents, we will discharge them, though we still consider them outpatients. You know, the injuries they sustained are mostly internal. Regular checkup and follow-ups is still essential.
No problem, Doctor. Firstly, thank you very much, and I'll make sure that I bring them for their regular checkups.
Oh, the CMD is here.
Good day, Dr. James. My brains. I was already informed you here. Can you come with me to my office, please?
Sure.
Okay. Thank you so much.
Good day, my friend.
It doesn't matter how long it takes. One day the truth must be revealed. It doesn't matter how smart you play. One day every secret must be unveiled. Nothing is hidden under the sun. When it's your time, nothing can stop you. What will be. What's written is written. All it needs is time. All it needs is time. What would be.
Welcome
What's
home,
written is
my girls. I'm so pleased and thankful to God that you all came back in one piece.
Yes, Mom. I'm happy to be home.
I missed home. Wow.
Mom, I wish I can say the same thing. Everything looks strange. I can't even recognize me living here or my existence.
Adeze, this is just a temporary memory loss. I know that by the time you get settled, everything will come. And you will remember who you are and where you are.
Mom is right. The medicine and the love you will get will help you fasten your memory loss. I am here. You have my full support.
Let's go inside.
Your daughters are back home.
Yes, Your Majesty. They are home now. And I really appreciate the King and the Queen for their kind assistance all this while.
Lady Margaret, we consider your family part of this royal family. I thank God they made it alive. We actually called you here for something very important.
Yes, as you know, the prince is engaged to your daughter. And actually they were planning for their wedding before the unfortunate accident. But right now we want to resume the planning for the wedding so that we can set a date aside for the royal wedding.
And as we do that, the king wants Adana to move into the palace. Yes. And be groomed into becoming the future queen.
Your Majesties, I cannot question your decision and authority, else my head will be removed from my body. But as a concerned mother, my daughters are still recovering. They might have been discharged from the hospital, but they are still outpatients.
You see, your concerns are justifiable.
Yes.
As parents before becoming rulers, your worries we understand. But you should know that in the palace, that's where you have the best physicians and medical attention.
Exactly. My dear, I promise no pressure will be mounted on her. She will be well taken care of, as we will take consideration of her health.
Exactly.
It's okay.
I wish I can take you along with me, but duty calls. I understand. With no collection of who I am, and with you leaving, everything seems empty. Don't worry. Whenever I am free, I will come visiting. You should just hurry up and remember everything, okay? Okay, I will try. I can't help but feel lost. Have fun, sis. You're the future queen. I'm proud of you. Thank you. Same here. Take care. And you too. Take care of yourself. Your Majesty.
Consider the palace your new home.
Thank you, Your Majesty.
Exactly, my dear. You're now a bona fide member of this royal family. How are you feeling?
I am feeling better.
Oh, I'm glad to hear that. I hope you like your room.
See, we have some people
Okay.
I'm so glad to have you. And you know what? That reminds me. I've noticed you've not really expressed interest in the company and investors. I mean, you actually used to be a workaholic before the accident.
I'm worried about it. But I almost died. I never thought about it. I'm praying to survive. I'm all about fully recovering.
Yeah, fair enough. And guess what? I actually got you one of your favorite books, The Act of War. You remember you told me you want to be a
Yes.
Yes. I got it for you. I'm so very optimistic about it.
Oh, thanks.
Yeah. I just told myself that you remember you told me.
Beautiful day, isn't it?
Yes, a beautiful one. Drinking in its beauty is intoxicating.
Is that you sounding poetic? That isn't like you. Adana is the only poetic one.
Really? Mom, tell me. What was I like before the accident? I want to know.
Okay. You like to party, have fun, drink. You don't like working to earn money, but you like spending money.
Was I like that? That was a picture of irresponsibility you just painted. You must have gone through a lot to contain my excesses.
My dear, I understand that you needed love and attention. Both of you did. But you demand for your own in a painstaking manner.
Mom, I'm sorry for all I've done. I don't remember all that, but I promise going forward, I will make you proud. Please. And happy.
It's okay. Don't cry, my baby girl. I love you. Get up. I love you so much. I love you. It's okay.
Chidimma, what are we doing?
What do you mean? We are here to celebrate you making it out of that crash alive.
By coming to the bar? I feel I've never been here.
Adeze, what happened to you? Did the accident affect your brains? I heard you don't remember anything anymore. That you are having temporary memories.
Yes, I don't. My body and mind sometimes reject and accept things I don't remember. I don't feel I've been here.
You have. Several times. Honestly. Okay, don't worry. Once you take a sip of this drink, you will remember everything. This drink It's your favorite drink. Don't worry. Just take a sip of this. Oh my goodness!
What the hell? Chimo, I hate this. I never liked this. And I feel I never liked it.
Hi. Daisy, what happened to you? And Daisy and alcohol were like buddies. They were like 5 and 6. What has accident done to my friend? The bar is a second home. Sometimes you forget yourself here. What has this accident done to you? What?
Is everything okay? Did you remember anything about who you are?
Not yet. But my body and mind has been active. The things that I was told that I love is what my body hates. And the one they told me that I hate is what my body craves for. It is a whole maze of confusion.
I see. I know this is a very confusing time for you. But you have to believe whatever they told you that you are. You were very irresponsible. You were the black sheep of the family.
I don't know. I'm sorry for being the nuisance here. You might not say it, but I know you've suffered greatly in the hands of a sister like me. I'm sorry. Please forgive me.
Oh, love does not hold on to wrongs. It's okay, sis. Just live your life quietly. Do not stir trouble, okay? Just chill. Take your drink. Take.
I am in pain. I am heartbroken. She's my blood, but she chose to hurt me.
So where is your engagement ring?
Oh, that. It's too old and not fancy. I'm going to be royal, so I should be wearing expensive things. Something expensive like 18 karat gold.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
Is this you talking? So you pretend to be mesmerized the first day I gave it to you just to impress me, right?
I have no idea about what you're talking. But that old ring can hardly mesmerize me. I need something new and very expensive.
Oh. So you prefer something expensive over something priceless? Having historical and emotional value that cannot be quantified or monetized. That's what you prefer, right?
It doesn't matter how long it takes. One day the truth must be revealed. It doesn't matter how smart you play.
I was at the doctor's office today. He said that
Anything like face, sound, or even test will go a very long way to help you recover your memory.
So you brought this stuff to help me remember what it tastes like and the pleasurable feelings I derive from taking it.
Exactly. Do you know you're very intelligent and smart?
Mom, Chinwe gave me this stuff. I spat it out. I couldn't even swallow it. I detested it. I hate the taste and the smell. For the last time, please, don't you ever bring this stuff to me again.
This is really strange. You used to love alcohol so much. Yes. The only person that detests alcohol with so much passion is your sister Adanna. So, what has this accident actually done to you? This is very strange. Does amnesia affect taste? You used to love alcohol a lot. The only person that detests alcohol the way you're doing now is your sister Adanna. What has this accident actually done to you?
It doesn't matter how long it takes. One day the truth must be revealed. It doesn't matter how smart you play.
Oh, my princess. Thank you, my angel.
How is everyone at the palace?
Everyone is fine. Your sister said I should say hi to you. I can see you're working.
Yes, Mom. Some investors were threatening to pull out their investment. I paid them a visit, pitched a new ideas that I'm working on. Instead, they added to their investment.
You did all that?
Yes, Mom. I know I cannot remember who I was before the accident, but a new me enjoys working and solving problems.
I see. So, it is still what it is.
And Mom, what are you talking about?
Never mind. Don't you know your mommy again? I'm thinking of something that I know is quite impossible. It's alright, my angel. Just go ahead and walk, okay?
Okay.
I'm very proud of you.
Thank you, Mama. I love you.
I love you too. Just continue with what you're doing, okay? Let me quickly freshen up.
Okay, welcome.
Alright, I'm proud of you, my baby girl.
Thanks. I love you.
I love you too.
Cold tea. Are you crazy? Answer me!
I'm sorry, Your Honor. I thought the tea was warm enough. I was scared getting you something hot that will hurt your tongue, Your Honor.
Are you trying to call me dumb?
I'm sorry.
So I cannot differentiate between what is cold and what is warm? Do you want me to slap you good for nothing?
Maid, go and get us something warm and
stupid.
What was that? What was that all about? That was a scream.
So am I not supposed to discipline the maid when they are wrong?
That's not discipline. You dehumanize her. Sometimes I wonder, the Adanna I fell for was very compassionate. I feel like I'm looking at a familiar stranger.
What are you saying? Adanna. It's just that since the accident, I've not been my usual self. Please, can you give me some time?
You better get back to your usual self if that's the girl I want to marry.
It doesn't matter how long it takes. One day the truth must be revealed. It doesn't matter how smart you play.
I am so happy that you found a woman you love. I can't wait to become a grandmother.
Well, the truth is, I'm happy that you are happy.
Good.
And of course, I'm not going to change my mind. But can we delay this wedding a bit?
Huh?
Why?
What are you saying? I thought you love Adana.
Son, are you having cold feet? You have to be brave. It is perfectly normal. But one thing you should bear in mind is this. Remind yourself why you got to this point in the first place. You can't just let go like that.
I'm not having cold feet, Mother.
So?
The truth is, things are looking different. Adana is different. And I still need some time to study and observe her before we proceed with marriage plans. Maybe the accident altered her personality. But I still want her to be the woman I fell in love with before we can move on with any marriage activities. And that's what I'm asking for some time.
I mean, you didn't think about this before or what?
It's kind of complicated, Dad. Something just doesn't play out right.
It doesn't matter how smart you play. One day every secret must be unveiled. Nothing is hidden under the sun. When it's your time, nothing can stop you. What would be, would be. What's written is written. All it needs is time.
Did she go to the hospital?
No, my prince. She has returned to the company. She's now spearheading the projects used to be handled by Adana. Can you imagine the surprise?
Yeah. And Daisy never liked to work. That's something Adana does. But ever since Adana returned, she hasn't said anything about returning to work.
Probably she's learning the mastery of the art of becoming royal and the future queen.
Well, that could be it. But tell me, did you by any means notice any anger issue as a result of the accident, like being bitchy, you know, rude, personality on the side of Adeze? Did you notice?
No, my prince. Since after the accident, she has become a new person. In fact, she's now a different version of herself, more perfect. But the only thing she's struggling with is trying to recollect who she was before the accident.
Oh. Well, in that case, I would suggest she comes and live with us in the palace. I mean, she will have access to first-class royal physicians.
But my prince, will the king and the queen like it?
Adeze is family. The royal house loves family. I think the most important thing is that you are going to miss her and you're going to be left alone. But again, you could also join us if you wish.
No. I am fine. In fact, I'll be fine. If I miss them, I'll come to the royal house to see them. And meanwhile, I'll talk to Adeze about it.
Okay then. I guess I have to take my leave.
It's okay, my prince.
I'm in pain. I am heartbroken. She's my blood, but she chose to hurt me.
How can you make such decisions on your own?
I didn't. Your mother agrees with me.
And my opinion does not matter to you? She's my sister, and I have a say in this matter.
Seems like you're not too pleased with your sister coming to the palace. Even after I told you that we need her to access the best treatment to speed up her recovery.
Don't get me wrong, my prince. You do not know my sister like I do. My sister has always been useless. She drinks, parties, and sleeps around with strange men. Since the accident, she has focused on something for the first time. You see, she's trying to do something good for her life and the family, and bringing her to the palace, I think, will be a huge distraction.
Well, not to worry. I understand your worries, okay? But we'll try to keep her focused. But I will also need you to look after your sister and give her the support that she needs, like the way you did before the accident.
I love spending time with you like this.
Yeah. That makes me remember the good old days.
Yes. The time we couldn't wait to see each other.
So tell me, what was that initial spark that bonded us? What was that thing we had in common?
Oh, it was our love for good things and nature. And that was what we had in common. And that was our initial spark.
Surprising.
Uh-huh.
I didn't expect you to forget how we bonded and got interested in each other by means of royal inspirational quotes.
Wow, yes, I remember. Although they were boring, but we both loved it.
You didn't find it boring? You were crazy about it. Even though we had a little bit of argument, yeah.
Oh, yes, I remember. I seem to be, oh God, this damn accident. I seem to be the one forgetting things when my sister is the one with the amnesia. Isn't that strange?
Yeah. It's very strange. Very strange.
Yes.
It is indeed a privilege for having me in your royal home.
Just make yourself comfortable, okay?
You don't have to worry about anything. We will give you a royal treatment. Just focus on your recovery.
Thanks for your generosity and love. Your Highness, thanks for your concern. I will never forget this, your benevolence.
That shouldn't be your problem. Like His Majesty the King and Her Majesty the Queen said, just concentrate on your health.
Exactly.
Anything you need, don't hesitate to ask.
Thank you.
Come on, the maids will show you to your room. Maids!
I'm in pain. I am heartbroken. She's my blood, but she chose to hurt me.
This one you are holding is my favorite.
Really?
Of course.
I like it too. I've been craving to read The Act of War the second time.
The Act of War? The Act of War actually is one of my favorite books. Yeah. But look at you. What do you know about raging wars and conquering territories?
It talks about taking your enemies by surprise and being a step ahead of them in terms of plans and action.
Well, I guess I've met my match. The thing is, I didn't know you were into this. I felt these feelings the very first time I met your sister, Adana.
Really? We're sisters, twin sisters. There's great possibility that both of us are passionate about the same thing.
Yeah. I agree with you.
Your Highness, I hope I'm not overstepping. If I may ask, why is the royal wedding still on hold?
Well, I guess the royal wedding will fasten the process of me becoming your king, and I'm not ready for that.
But you have my sister's ruling beside you. You will make a fine king. And when the going gets tough, you draw your strength from the queen.
You know, you sound so familiar. This is exactly how I felt when I was with Adana. I couldn't just wait to get married to her and become a king.
So what are you waiting for? She's still here. Why are you hesitating?
She seems different. Completely different. The way I enjoy talking to you right now is the way I felt when I was with Adana before the accident.
Your Highness, you know we have been through a lot together. Just give us some time.
Let's see what happens.
She's troublesome, she's arrogant, she's devious, she lacks respect, she's wild and contemptuous. Who is she? She's a betrayer. Still they imagine the kind of heart she gets. She's a betrayer. She will go through any length if she threatens you. She's a betrayer.
What are you doing here?
I wish to be left alone. That's why I'm here.
You are talking to the prince. You should watch your tongue.
Really? What do you want? Isn't Adeze an excellent company?
You're drunk. I thought you hated the smell of alcohol. Why are you drinking it?
Blame it on the pressure in the palace. It seems that Adeze, my sister, seems to be getting your attention. Do you think you like her?
That's a very inappropriate assumption. She is your sister, and that makes her family. Am I supposed to treat her like a total stranger? Or are you getting jealous?
What if I am?
And I would say, it's unlike you. The Adana that I knew is very secure, smart, and loving. I want to see her face, but not her personality.
Whatever.
It doesn't matter how long it takes. One day the truth must be revealed. Doesn't matter how smart you play.
Fried chicken and juice. Chilled one. Ash! 5 minutes, get coming. Get out! I missed you so much.
I missed you too, my darling.
Oh, bad bitch. What took you so long?
My dear, I'm sorry. I've been so busy. Look at you. Your levels have changed. You have forgotten everything about me. In fact, about us. So tell me, don't you miss our favorite bar?
How I wish you know how suffocated I've been in this palace. When can we go? I need to drown my frustration in alcohol. Chinwe, I think you're talking to the wrong sister. You should be talking to my sister Adeze. She's your friend, right?
Yes, she is. And what type of best friend that will not recognize her best friend anymore? I think getting to know someone goes beyond their faces and physical appearance.
And what are you trying to say?
My dear, what I am trying to say is that I know my best friend. I know who my best friend is. And I will continue to visit her. And I will continue to protect her secrets.
What are you trying to say?
What I am trying to say is that I know my best friend. Yes.
Yes.
I know my best friend. And I will continue to visit her and protect her secrets, even though I do not approve the measures she took.
Speaking of riddles, let's say I pretend to understand what you're saying. What do you get for your silence?
Heartfelt gratitude and willingness to respond whenever I ask her for anything.
Greetings, Your Majesty.
You're welcome.
Can I have a minute with you? I want us to talk about something.
Okay, just bring that seat and sit down.
Thank you, Your Majesty.
What troubles you?
Your Majesties, I never wanted to say this because I love my sister so much and wish she can change and be a good person. But I fear for the sanity and reputation of the royal family.
Speak. You have our attention.
Your Majesties, my sister has always been a wild child. She has always caused problems for our family. I've had series of relationships in the past, and when it gets to marriage, she will sleep with my fiancé and the marriage will break. She even drinks around and smokes weeds. She's bad for the palace. I suggest she's sent away.
My daughter.
Sir.
I feel your concern. But your sister is in the palace for treatment concern. As soon as she's done with the treatment, she will return home.
But Your Majesty, that might take long. She's getting close to the prince and gradually seducing him. If something is not done, history will repeat itself with devastating consequences. And you wouldn't want that to happen, do you?
I'm in pain. I am heartbroken. She's my blood, but she chose to hurt me.
Your Majesties, you sent for me.
Yes, we did. We noticed that you've been spending more time with Adeze. Is there any particular reason for that?
Not really, except that Adeze is cool-headed and we always talk about inspirational sports.
Sounds innocent. But that was not what we were told. We were told that Adeze is a bad egg. She has always tried to steal her sister's man and destroy her happiness. So what are you telling us here?
Who told you this, Mom? Who found it so easy to speak low of another person?
It doesn't even matter how or where we had it from. The most important thing is that the stability and sanity of this kingdom lies with you. I mean, you can't be caught in a scandal.
That will tarnish the image of this royal household. Son, the earlier you focus completely on Adana and forget everything that has to do with Adeze, the better for all of us. What has come over you? Why this sudden change?
You look lost, my prince.
Yeah, I am. You know I wanted Adana here so badly. But ever since she came, the feelings is different.
Is that why you're spending more time with her twin sister?
It's hard to explain. You see, the peace and calmness I feel now with Adeze, it's the same thing I felt with Adana before the accident.
You're right, my prince. Just as hard as it is to explain what you just said, it is hard to understand.
Could it be the result of the accident that changed their behaviors? Or is it any scientific explanation to the change?
My prince, maybe you're the one thinking like that. Coming close to two twin sisters at the same time can mess up with your head. I suggest you stick to Adana. She's the one you're engaged to.
That's exactly what the king and the queen said. But lately, being with Adeze relaxes me and makes me happy.
Any gist? You know, as sisters, we're supposed to be talking about your romance with the prince.
Oh, will you shut up? I told you not to get comfortable with your stay here because I'm not happy. Why do you think I am going to discuss my relationship with you?
I don't know. Is there something I'm missing?
You're missing a lot, thanks to your lost memory. But I will help you fill in the blank space. You were slutty. You slept with my boyfriends and ruined my relationship. You've always had the habit of going after everything I called mine.
I don't know. I don't feel like that I'm capable of doing something so low. But if I did, I cannot remember. Why does it feel like you're punishing me for my past mistakes?
Oh, stop the crocodile tears. It is called past when you have changed. But you're still the same. Still going after the prince. I can see that the goddess of lust in you want to have him.
I don't know why you're saying this to me. Why?
You're doing the same to me. Eh? You're doing the same with me. Just back off. Stay away from the prince. If you want your previous atrocities in the past to be forgotten or to be forgiven, just back the hell off. Leave the palace!
I don't know. Huh? You're right. I'm here for the treatment. Huh? I will leave as soon as I'm done.
You leave as soon as you're done. You can still get that treatment at home. Just leave the palace. Leave the prince alone.
I'm in pain. I am heartbroken. She's my blood, but she chose to hurt me.
What happened? Why are you looking so downcasted?
Mom, you should have told me the horrible things I did to Adana in the past. Now she doesn't want to have anything to do with me.
What did Adana tell you?
Mom, you already know. You already know how I slept with her boyfriends and ruined her happiness. What sort of a person does that to a sister? Mom, why didn't you tell me I was such a monster when I asked who I was?
Because whatever I or Adana tells you is not the entire truth. The entire truth about who you are lies in your memory. Therefore, you have to fight to regain your lost memory. Okay? It's only when you regain your lost memory, whatever you remember is who you truly are, and that is what you will believe.
Mom, I feel miserable. I wish my memories would return.
It will, my dear. It must return. And until then, everything will return to what it should be. Okay? Stop crying. Wipe your tears, okay?
It doesn't matter how smart you play. One day every secret must be unveiled. Nothing is hidden under the sun when it's your time.
Are you avoiding me? Did I do something wrong to you? What are you talking about? Why are you punishing yourself for mistakes of the past? If anybody doesn't see the goodness in you, it's their fault. But I do. You're a good person.
Oh, please, you have to forgive me. If staying away from you is the only way to do this,
Are you serious? What are you... So I should pretend now that we are enemies? That we cannot even exchange pleasantries, right? Is that what? Who is behind this?
it doesn't matter who or what. Just concentrate on your sister. Stay political with her. She should be the one you should be talking to, not me.
She's troublesome, she's arrogant, she's devious, she lacks respect, she's wild and contemptuous. Who is she? She's a betrayer. I still dare imagine the kind of action.
What's the this? What does that mean? Why did you tell my parents about your sister's past? Why? That she herself cannot remember. You have always advocated for your sister. Today, I see something different.
Why does everyone expect me to continue to play the angel? I'm supposed to forgive my sister every time, and she messes up, and I open my arms again to let her in to ruin my next big thing.
But she has changed. How come I'm seeing it and you're not seeing it?
Because you see what Adeze wants you to see. She has always been seductive and manipulative. You're not the first man in my life to be fooled by her. Okay, tell me, what is her game this time? Playing nice, or should I say, playing perfect and innocent. Don't fall for that, okay?
All I'm saying is that your sister needs you. She needs happiness. Advocate for her like you always do.
I know. Just be my fiancé and let me worry about my sister. Your concern for her is making me feel edgy.
You look so troubled, my daughter. Whatever it is, let me know. Just tell me.
Why do you look sad?
Your Majesties, I don't know how to deal with emotions. I've been hated for something I did in the past, which I cannot remember. I heard I've done horrible things in the past, but I know I'm not capable of doing such. I want to be a good person. I want to right the wrong. But how can I succeed when I'm constantly being judged and reminded of my past?
Adeze, I feel your concern. Honestly, I feel your pain. But change is the only constant thing. You have to give people time for them to know that. Adeze, you are different. And I've heard only great things about you.
You see, same here, my daughter. I am very happy I invested into the company. You are making this king richer by the day.
Yes.
We are so proud of you, my daughter.
Thank you, Your Majesty.
you. You will never regret it.
Doesn't matter how smart you play. One day every secret must be unveiled. Nothing is hidden under the sun. When it's your time, nothing can stop you. What will be, will be. What's written is written. All it needs is time.
I bet you can't stay away, can you? I've stayed away from the prince. What else do you want from me? You kept your distance from the prince, yet you went close to the king and the queen. You wanted everything I have. You always wanted them. Now you're working so hard to have them all. I don't know. I was only trying to have a conversation with them. I wasn't trying to steal them from you. Oh, will you shut up? I bet you're having a conversation to impress them. You always like to be the shining daughter of Lady Margaret.
Whoa. You okay? What happened?
Nothing. That's what she does to get attention. She's fine. You can see it. No, you can see it.
You're not fine. Are you okay?
No, I'm fine.
You can sit.
Okay, come.
I just need to lay down. My head feels heavy. Please.
My princess, I told you she's fine.
Is she
yes,
okay?
No, she's fine. Like I said, that is what she does to get attention.
Attention?
Yeah. I said it before.
Doesn't matter how smart you play. One day every secret must be unveiled. Nothing is hidden under the sun. When it's your time, nothing can stop you. What will be, will be. What's written is written. All it needs is time.
That is very beautiful. This must have some historic significance and priceless value.
Exactly. This ring has been in the royal family for at least 10 generations now. Adana rejected it. She wants something expensive and flashy.
Is she crazy? This is way more expensive and quality than any modern jewelry.
What baffles me the most is the first time I put the ring on her finger, she appreciated it. She loved it. And she said these exact same words from you. I don't understand why the sudden change. She seems different.
Your Highness, maybe she wants something people will understand. It's only creative and family-oriented people who understand the worth of this ring. Your Highness, please, can I test it? Can I wear it and test it? I want to know how it feels.
Well, she has rejected it. And it makes me feel she has rejected my heart. I'll put it on your finger.
Maybe she doesn't mean it that way. Please understand.
It doesn't matter.
She's stable now. She'll be fine.
That's a very great news.
So what happened? I'm still wondering what actually led to her fainting. We were just having a conversation and suddenly she slumped and she was unconscious.
Actually, I don't have the facts now, but I'm very sure she suffered from a shock. Did you saw anything before she fainted? Because I know that amnesic patients like this react to such situations whereby they see something or they remember something and then they go through such reactions. Well, by the time she wakes up, we'll know what exactly happened.
Thank you, Doctor. Please keep a close watch on her. We want her to get better.
It doesn't matter how smart you play. One day
I heard you fainted at the palace today. I wanted to come, but they assured me that you're fine and that you remembered something. Oh, I'm sorry I didn't come.
I'm not angry with you, Mom. I'm Adana, not Adese. Adese stole my identity. I cannot believe she would do something so despicable.
So your memory is back. Thank God.
Mom, you're not shocked. Which means you knew all this while. Why didn't you say something? Why did you keep quiet?
Because if I pointed it out, you're still too weak to fight for what belongs to you. Remember when you asked me whether you are that bad? I told you to wait until your memory comes back. But I know that Adese cheated. It is still what it is.
I cannot believe that Adese will go this far. Trying to kill us wasn't enough. She went ahead to steal my identity.
My dear, you have to fight to regain your identity, to take everything that belongs to you. But you have to be very intelligent and smart in doing that. Your sister is dangerous and desperate, so you have to be very smart. Okay? I am happy that my Adana is back.
I'm happy too.
Welcome back, my dear.
I missed you.
I missed you too, my angel.
It doesn't matter how smart you play. One day every secret must be unveiled. Nothing is hidden under the sun. When it's your time, nothing can stop you. What will be, would be.
Are you tired of playing nice to get the attention of the royal family? I never knew you would change your strategy. You play nice and changed? That is genius. You're very scary. You're not human. That will be you. Ask anyone. You are the wayward and manipulative one. Just because you took my name and life doesn't make you a good person. Even with my name and life, you're still a monster. Oh, you remember everything. Wow, your memory came back. Yes, I found out that you pretended to be me because you were wearing my engagement ring before the accident. I was unconscious, and you consciously told everyone that you are Adana. But I have bad news for you. I intend to take my life back. Hearing this from you is believable by me. But would the royal house believe you? They would think you came up with this brilliant idea to take my life. Remember, I've always told them that Adese wanted what Adana had. And you are ruining your life further. Adese, I will not be stuck with your life. A name that you continue to ruin while pretending to be me. Now listen, Adese. I will take my life back. Brace up, sis.
It doesn't matter how long it takes. One day the truth must be revealed. It doesn't matter how smart you play. One day every secret.
Oh, this one that you're here. There must be fire in the palace, right?
No, mother. If there is one, only your shining daughter will get burned.
Oh, okay, let me guess. You are here to tell me to tell your sister not to fight for her dear life. She should fade away and remain Adese, right?
Mother, that would be the smartest thing to do. Considering the fact that I've once tried to kill us for not getting what I want. So you think I cannot try it again?
You're underestimating your sister. That someone is good does not make that person weak.
You're wrong, mother. Being good makes one weak. And she cannot stoop so low to the level I'm about to go just to keep her life. Tell her I am ready to die to Benadana and become the future queen.
How possible is that?
Of course it is, mother.
Your sister is light and you are darkness. You are evil and one day you will be exposed. Now get up and get out of my house. I say get out of this room now!
She's troublesome.
Get out of my house now!
She's devious.
I say get out!
She lacks respect. She's wild and contemptuous. Who is she? She's a betrayer. I still dare imagine the kind of art she gets. She's a betrayer. She will go through any length if she threatens you. Oh. She's a betrayer. Avoid the most.
Your Highness, are you still nervous of ascending the throne?
Yeah, a little.
Remember what I told you back then, when you thought you were going to fail as a king? I told you that a king draws his strength from his queen.
Yeah, and it was very inspiring. I had that conversation with Adana. How come you are Adese knows?
Adana told me. I wasn't there. How am I supposed to know?
But you just said, remember what I told you? That's what you just said. It sounded like the conversation took place between both of us.
Respectfully, Your Highness, I think you heard me wrongly. There's no way I would have said I was the one you spoke with. Please excuse me. I need to go see my sister. Get to my back and stand well. Seeing that you sent for me, I'm convinced that I got your attention. Yes, you did. You intelligently tried to corner me and expose me back there. I must have underestimated. Yes. Yes, I did. We don't think alike, despite being twins. Thanks to that, the level I am ready to go, what I am prepared to lose to get what I want, you cannot imagine. Adanna, leave the palace or I kill myself. Adeze, you lied. How can someone who loves life and nurtured to be the future queen kill herself? Adeze, I don't care if you die or live at this point. Adanna, you do. You care if I live or die. The same reason you always abandon what you want whenever I throw tantrums. Adeze, try killing yourself and see when you get to the land of the dead, you will see that things have changed. Watch me, Adanna. I said watch me. Rubbish. What are you still doing here? Come on, get out.
I'm in pain. I am heartbroken. She's my blood, but she chose to hurt me.
Adeze, what are we doing here? I hope you're not up to one of your dirty mischief. My friends, you mentioned to me that this place holds a very significant and a happy memory to you.
Yeah, I did. When did we have that conversation?
My prince, how can you forget? Well, it's okay, I remember, and that's enough. And Adanna, can you tell us the story that took place between you and the prince? What the prince said is memorable for you both. What are you talking about, and what are you driving at? You want me to say the reason why I'm asking the question, or you go straight and answer it? My head. I don't know. I can't remember, my prince. It's just that the accident just messed with me, and I feel some blank space. My head.
Really?
My head.
How can you forget this was the exact place that I asked you to marry me?
Really, Adanna? And you never said anything to the doctor? I was the one that lost my memory, but you seemed unaware and forgetful than me. Why? Oh my God. My head. My head. My head. My prince, my head. My head.
It doesn't matter how smart you play. One day every secret must be unveiled. Nothing is hidden under the sun. When it's your time.
How is it possible? You have everything you ever prayed for, but you are still miserable. You are the future queen, for Christ's sake.
I abandoned Adeze to become Adanna. I stole her identity, but I still do not have the man.
Because love, bond, and connection is beyond physical appearance. You stole her identity and not her personality.
I would have had it all if she did not come back to wage this war. I am telling you, she does not know what I am capable of doing to keep this her life forever.
Babe, please, do not do something stupid. The last time you did something drastic, you ended up in the hospital.
Drastic is the only language Adana understands. And I will make sure that she's out of the picture this time.
Just calm down. Stop drinking now. You're taking too much. It's okay. Give me the drink.
This is my only happiness.
Do you want to kill yourself? Do you?
Your Majesty, you asked to see me.
Yes, we did. What happened to Adana got us worried.
The doctor said she's depressed. To the extent that she tried taking her own life. I don't need a soothsayer to tell me why. That girl came into this palace to be married to you. And now she is still not yet.
I am going ahead with the marriage. And you cannot stop me. Son, get ready to get married to Adana as soon as possible. Did I make myself clear?
Your Majesties, you've always given me the right to choose a queen. And always respected my feelings and wanting to get married for love. What can I do when the woman I fell in love with is gone?
What do you mean by that?
Father, the Adana you see here is not the Adana I fell in love with. The one that is here is very rude, uncaring, and very materialistic. I cannot make such a woman a queen of this kingdom. If I do, I'll be done to fail.
You will handle this matter. You know that a living king cannot be roadblocked.
I know. That is why I prevented you from entering the place.
Good.
I will take care of everything.
Okay, good. Please take care of everything.
A knife was found in a cupboard inside your room. And your sister is in her room with blood dripping from her hand. You better speak now or I will call the guards on you.
Your Majesty, I did not know how that knife got to my cupboard. I'm innocent. And I will never hurt my sister.
Mother, she's right. I've spent some time with Adaeze, and I know her to a certain extent. She's not the kind of person that will ever want to do such a thing. Maybe someone is trying to frame her up.
Then what will be their motive? She has never complained about having enemies in this palace.
That is because I did not consider my sister an enemy. Your Majesty, Adana has been threatening to kill herself if I don't leave the palace. I never knew she would go this far.
Then why are you saying this now? You think we will believe you? I'll just take it that you're trying to flip the narrative.
Your Majesty, I did not do it. But now that I've seen how far she's willing to go just for me to leave the palace, may I take your permission to leave for my sister's safety?
No, you will do no such thing. It's not your fault.
Adana threatened to kill herself if I don't leave the palace. I don't want to lose my sister. It's better I leave for her safety.
How did you like my genius stroke?
I told you you've no match to me. Adeze, you're right. I'm no match to your manipulations and deceit. I can never stoop to the level you go, no matter what it has taken. So you are acknowledging your defect. You accept you failed. I failed, but not defeated. Nature is still on my side. Adeze, nothing is hidden under the sun, and the good will always triumph over the evil. After kicking you out of the palace and taking your life, you still believe you will win? I thought you were smart, but you're smart only in business. Continue waiting for nature to prevail. I would have given the prince 3 sons by then, while you wait for nature to give you your life back.
It doesn't matter how smart you play. One day every secret must be unveiled. Nothing is hidden under the sun. When it's your time, nothing can stop you. What will be, would be. What's written is written. All it needs is time. All it needs is time. What would be, would be. What's written is written. All it needs is time. All it needs is time. It doesn't matter how long it takes.
If there is anyone who stomached my theories and found logic in it, that person would be you.
What are you thinking, my prince?
Would you look at Adana? Forget about her face, but attitude. Did she seem similar to you?
I thought you would never ask. She seems like that little brat, a Daisy. I don't know how she became Adana.
Warning bell is going through my head. I think their faces swapped during the accident. But I need ironclad evidence to prove my theory.
My prince, what do you have me do? If such injustice has taken place, then justice must prevail.
Stand by me, Amaka. Remember, our suspicion has to be a secret, because the perpetrator cannot be underestimated.
Adana, do you plan to live your life as Adeze? That will be unfair.
I know, Mother. I tried all I could. There are many ways to reclaim my identity. DNA test is there and fingerprints.
So what is stopping you?
I fear that Adeze holding on to my life is the reason for her leaving. If I take it back from her, she will die.
Even to the very end. Even when you have been driven to the cliff, you still feel something for your sister. You still care for her.
Mom, Adeze is my only sibling. I don't want to lose her. If sacrificing my love for the prince is all it takes, so be it. I will not fight to reclaim my life again. But I know that one day, if nature is on my side, everything will return to its rightful place. Oh, my baby girl. My baby girl. Oh, my baby girl. You are such a good girl. Each time I look at you, I am proud of the woman you have become. I know that I have not failed in my duties as a mother. I did something right. It's okay. It's okay. You shouldn't be here. Please go away.
I'm going to call off the engagement. I don't know what happened, but the woman I fell in love with, she's not in the palace.
Nothing happened. Everything is where it's supposed to be. Go and marry Adanna and leave me alone. I'm not coming anything closer to you.
I can see it in your eyes. The hurt, the pain, the secret you are hiding. Are you hiding something from me?
Nothing. Nothing is hidden. Have you ever been happy finding something and realizing that that thing doesn't exist? Go and be married to Adanna. Or are you afraid of ascending the throne? You're delaying the marriage to delay the coronation?
Is that the best you can do to shake off my resolve? But I guess you need to try harder. In love and selflessness for your sister, you are carrying a bigger conspiracy she hatched. I remember you know everything that Adanna only supposed to know or say. Everything. And that gives me the hope of uncovering the truth, the healing secret between you and your family. And trust me, if I look beyond the surface, I will find out the truth. And I will bring every hidden truth to light.
I'm in pain, I am heartbroken. She's my blood, but she chose to hurt me. What have I done wrong? I show her so much love.
Yes, hello. Thomas. This is the prince. Yeah, I got a sample. Please, I would need you to be very discreet about this. I'm on my way. Bye.
I would like to inform you that I will be calling all engagement between she and myself.
What? Why so sudden?
So, what happened? Did both of you have a fight? No. This shouldn't translate to breaking a royal engagement. No.
This has got nothing to do with a fight, mother. There is more to it than you know. But my plans have changed.
You lie! The plan still stands. You have almost loved me and you're going nowhere.
Quiet! How dare you speak in this manner before the queen and king of this kingdom? Do you realize you are speaking to the prince? Do you realize there's something wrong with you?
Father!
It's
okay. Please give me a minute. I need to have a word with you.
Game over. Game over. So you stole your sister's identity after the accident, right?
All you have is just the theories and baseless claim that they told you.
You still don't know your sister, do you? She's over there protecting you. She's not ready to let go of her name, her status, her personality, all because she doesn't want you to kill yourself. How long do you think you can deceive a future king? She refused to tell me the truth. Listen to this. If I cannot give justice to the one that I love, how then do I give justice to thousands of people that I'm about to rule?
If you have something to prove it, you would have shown that to the king. But we're still talking about it, are we not? That means you do not have any proof.
Oh yeah, I do have proof. But you know why I don't want to show it to the king? Because you will get punished or killed. So I'm giving an opportunity to go back to Adana and ask her for forgiveness so she can forgive your sins.
I've told Adana that without her life, I have no intention of leaving. I cannot save Adana and lose Adeze. So do whatever you want to do. Over my dead body, will I give Adana her life back? Excuse me.
It doesn't matter how smart you play. One day every secret must be unveiled. Nothing is hidden under the sun. When it's your time, nothing can stop.
The result of this DNA has confirmed our suspicion that Adeze is Adana, and Adana is Adeze. Margaret?
Your Highness.
What do you have to say before I give my verdict?
Your Highness, I've known all this while, but I didn't know that Adeze would go to that extent. I am their mother and I can identify them anytime, any day, without even looking at their faces. So the DNA...
Your Majesty, don't ever believe anything my mother is saying. She always hated me and she has come...
Silence! Your mother is still talking.
Thank you, Your Majesty. Your Majesty, the DNA result is correct. This is Adeze. And this is Adana. Your Majesty, it happened that on the day of the accident, Adana came back happily with the royal ring. We were busy admiring it. Then the sister Adeze requested that she have a feel of the royal heirloom. Adana gave it to her. She wore it on her hand. Before we know what was happening, she picked up her car key and zoomed off. Adana here immediately went after her in the bid to collect her royal ring. And I equally rushed after them to make sure that there's no problem. Immediately, Adeze entered her car, Adana jumped inside the car too. They zoomed off. And that resulted to the accident. Then while at the hospital, because Adeze was wearing the ring on her finger already, she was mistaken for Adana. And Adana being unconscious and having loss of memory too, Adeze now claimed her identity.
Your Majesty, it's not true. Quiet! With all these evidences against you, you are still ranting. My pronouncement is that you'll be taken to the market square, paraded naked, and banished forever.
Your Majesty, please tamper justice with mercy. I have forgiven her. Please forgive her too, Your Majesty. Please, I beg you. Please. Please.
She's my daughter, Okoli. Please.
Have
mercy. Mercy. Go, please.
Well, because of all these people, I will reduce the punishment. You'll still be banished, but for 5 years. Get!
Your Highness.
Take her away. Take her away!
It doesn't matter how smart you play. One day every secret must be unveiled.
Oh, Your Majesty.
How are you?
I'm fine, Your Majesty. Thank you. No, Lady Margaret. Thank you, ma'am. Welcome. Thank you. Greetings, Your Majesty. My beautiful daughter-in-law. Welcome, my child.
Mother.
Welcome, son. I'm fine.
Thank you.
Behold the latest royal couple.
Once again, congratulations to you two.
Thank you, Your Majesty.
You're welcome.
Margaret.
Your Majesty.
I invited you to thank you for the cooperation you and your kinsmen gave us during the royal wedding. And because of your cooperation, I want to inform you that you will join the royal family for a tour of East Africa.
Oh my God. Wow. Thank you, Your Majesty. Thank you, Your Majesty. Thank you very much. Lolo, thank you so much.
You're always welcome.
My prince, I'm grateful. Oh my God. Oh my God.
Smart you play. One day every secret must be unveiled. Nothing is hidden under the sun. When it's your time, nothing can stop you. What would be. What's written is written. All it needs is time. All it needs is time. What would be. What's written is written. waiting. All it needs is time. All it needs is time. It doesn't matter how long it takes. One day the truth must be revealed. It doesn't matter how smart you play. One day every secret must be unveiled.